Hello, everyone. Real quick, where have I been? I have not been doing much because I have other games. I mean, I haven't. There hasn't been any games I want to be streaming. To be honest, I've been playing other games, but it's been mostly Final Fantasy 14, and I don't think that's very interesting for me to stream since I'm just sitting there reading story and all that. But anyways, Total Warhammer 3. Main reason I came back to doing stuff and then I left because it wasn't good. Still not good. 3.0. I was waiting for this patch. I was holding back everything I had thoughts of everything. And now it's here. And I can say they fixed nothing. They fixed absolutely nothing. That is a problem with Total Warhammer 3. So, real quick, let's go over it. Now, first off, let's get the elephant out of the room. People are going to be upset with, like, I say Chaos Dwarfs isn't worth it. Reason why is that Chaos Dwarves should have been the pre-order DLC. Ogres should have been kept to a mercenary group recruitment. If you haven't seen my stuff before, the reason why I say that is that ogres by themselves, just because of their unit mass alone, makes them overpowered. Your basic unit ogres will overpower almost every unit in the game. I can play ogres on the hardest difficulty and have a breeze of a time. Meanwhile, and probably have endgame crisis and then deal with the endgame crisis pretty easily, even if it's vampires. Because ogres can push through. Ogres hit hard. Ogres get a lot of money. Like, they have zero problems. Oh, you lost main encampments? Okay, I'll build a main encampment anywhere in the world. It's really not hard. Reason why I also say Chaos Dwarves isn't worth is because Chaos Dwarves is filled with a ton of other people's stuff. One of them being cafes. They get cafes, like little missions, caravans. There we go. Gets their caravans, but they get the caravans in the best way possible. Where Cathay has to go across the world, across multiple guaranteed enemies, pretty much, to get their caravans done. They get their caravans within their own territory. Super easy. No problem. Get benefits for spending almost nothing, pretty much. So Chaos Dwarfs get really fucking easy with caravans. They actually had a nerf Chaos Dwarfs where they couldn't get that much money from cafe and caravans because they would become the richest fucking faction in the game because they could easily get them. Every single Cathayan thing goes through here. Now, that makes me upset for being a Cathayan player, but Chaos Dwarves didn't really enthrall me at all. I do not care. I do not care about Chaos Dwarves. But Chaos Dwarves being given to us now, give me a second. Pull it up. Chaos Dwarves cost right now it's $22, but $25 for the Chaos Dwarves, which is a bunch of factions put together. A lot of their stuff is really good. Imagine having cheap goblins with that are expendable with freaking dwarves that have leadership up the wazoo. Like, they fixed everything dwarves have a problem with, and they effectively made dwarves, and then just gave them speed. Like, they gave them the one thing that dwarves were missing and what makes dwarves unique, and gave them speed. This guy is fast. Everyone, like, they get centaurs, they get wolf mounts, they got speed now. Dwarves are no longer, these dwarves aren't slow, but they get the same leadership, which makes them now super strong. So that's my opinion on that, is that this isn't worth. I am not going to give CA money for this because they don't deserve it, because the rest of the game is still bad. Mirror Madness, the free DLC, the survival mode. Why are we getting this? I agree with like a good amount of people who are saying that why were their resources attributed to this when the game is still broken? That's all I have to say about that. I would like this later. I would have liked this earlier, actually. But you gave this to us now, and it's why. The new hero. I'm going to say she is a lore character, but it's really freaking weird that Kislev and even the Empire has her. And she has vampire magic. It's like, what? I'm sorry. I don't feel like that's right. Maybe Kislev I've been fine with if she was just Kislev, but she's Empire too, which makes it really weird. Especially with Volkmar the Grim being all the way south in the desert. She goes all the way south to the desert, huh? I mean, she's an Avenger, so it makes sense. The thing is that also her story a little bit ended with her with the Lamian court. So again, it just feels weird. It feels like them moving factions around to locations for no reason. Like how Teclis and Zinch were where they were, and then they moved them, which made zero sense at the beginning. They had a Luthanar in a Dark Elf major city slave port that's iconic, and he owned it, which made zero sense. And then they move him. Like it feels like them being like, hey guys, we're trying to add variety to the game, and it's like, no, you're playing the Empire, you should expect Empire stuff, that sort of thing. I'm gonna get sort of by myself in the butt with that one. Playing the Empire, you should expect Empire stuff, but there's a reason why. I'll cancel that out for Empire later on. Race randomization in Immortal Empire is free. Do not give a shit. Literally do not give a care. Should have left this as a mod. If it is a mod. Like, because this just makes it so that, oh, you get the random race and legendary lord to take on your next campaign. You could just click a button and do that. If it also randomized my location, yeah, okay, I'll take that. It doesn't, though. So no, I don't care. I don't care. This is, again, wasted resources. Even if that took, like, an afternoon, I feel like that's wasted resources. Stability stuff doesn't really matter. Gameplay. This is the thing we should care about. But we can now preview landmark buildings by hovering over it. Don't care. Really don't care. They made it so that you can have more mods running at the same time. Honestly, I have to ask, how many mods are you people running that they needed to do this? Because you shouldn't have that many mods. We've added a new panel that allows you to search for certain items on the campaign map, like settlements, faction characters, landmarks, resources, blah, 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 blah. You know what you could also do? Click on a resource. At least I know for resources. Click on a resource and it'll take you to those resources, or the closest resource to you. So yeah. Feel like that's bad? Not necessarily. Multiple buildings were incorrectly marked as destructible have been updated game-wide, including the found within maps. I don't understand that. Maybe settlement buildings, but whatever. Then some other stuff, like a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. Borders have been adjusted. Stuff have been moved around, as it always does whenever a new faction gets introduced. They rearrange like the whole map because they're adding a new faction. They have to make sure they have enough room to breathe and all that. Rule system. Missions. Require taking of a specific region now complete instantly rather than on the start of your next turn. That's nice. Various land battle maps. There was apparently some places that prevented reinforcements. Okay. Don't care about that. The thing is, it's like, update various choke point areas on the campaign map to correctly load it into ambush battles. Yeah, that actually happened. There's some locations that's like you'd be standing on a bridge and then you won't get a bridge map for whatever reason. They fixed some stuff with like artillery firing and all that. So this just goes into what they were talking about, what changes they've done to the range combat, which is just affects settlement battles basically, because they're like, hey guys, we fixed it to line of sight. You didn't fix line of sight. This tells me you did not fix line of sight, because we correctly updated the logic for props buildings like lampstands, market stalls, tents, tables, other destructible assets, organ camps, bones and carts, constructible towers, tiny destructible pieces of terrain, and wall collision. You didn't fix it. This shouldn't even been a problem to begin with. The problem with range in this game is that, hey, I'm gonna target something that's within its range. Oh, and they can fire immediately. Nope, they're not gonna fire immediately. They're gonna do a little dance, do a little jig, adjust a little bit, and then fire, even though they're within the cone of range. So yeah, no, you didn't fix it. Because in 2, I can click on an enemy that's within range. Only half the unit has to move to get the angle on them, while the rest of them stand still and fire. Updated. They've been constantly updating this. If you haven't noticed, every single time they've tweaked with line of sight or done something with platforms or barricades, they've been playing around with making it so that they can see better. Missile units can see better. So really the only thing they've changed with line of sight is that, hey, you guys can fire through walls now, basically. Correctly. Because that was a problem. War Declaration. Okay, here's the thing that's pretty good. War Declaration on faction of the same subculture is now less likely for High Elf, Major, Empire, and Lizardman factions. That's nice, but that's not the biggest problem. You fix something that is a slight problem. You didn't fix the main problem. AI factions are more accepting of vassalization. Okay, don't care. That's not the problem. I'm just looking real quick because I didn't quite read this. I'm just like, I saw this and I looked at half of it and I'm like, this doesn't even look good. Oh. All factions now consider war losses. Cool, don't care. Previously, only Skaven, Dwarves, and Tomb Kings did not. Okay. Skaven probably shouldn't. Dwarves don't give a shit. Tomb Kings don't give a shit. You're still probably gonna have to kill them to the last man anyways. So, reason why I say the vassalization is trash. This is trash. This is trash. Is that minor AI factions completely kill themselves. They go in and die. They declare war, they die. If the enemy faction is a major faction, they die. They're not willing to expand. They're not willing to do good processing and attacks. They just die. They just shut down. Boris Todbringer is probably one of the worst offenders to how minor AI factions are. He has not only it's not Thra, it's Festus. He has Festus. He has, I want to say Krokgar, but I know that's wrong. Malagor. No, not Malagor. He has a Beastman major faction. I'm forgetting what Beastman it is. I barely play him. And then he has a minor faction Orc, which just hates your guts. And if it's a minor faction that hates your guts and wants to go to war with you, they will just become equivalents of a major faction. But all three of those attack Boris Todbringer immediately. Those orcs need to be removed, at least. Because there's too much up there. Boris gets taken down to one settlement like that and loses his main army like that. It's instant. And then the other and fucking Warriors of Chaos are just super strong. They are overpowered beasts. Races and balance. So they start off with Chaos Dwarves for most of this. It looks like they are raising the costs on a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're raising the cost on everything, like, awesome. Well, some of them are getting reduction. But some of these don't even make sense, but like Plague. Why are you increasing Plague to 12? Doesn't make sense, but whatever. A lot of Winds of Magic changes. Few of them are increased, few of them are reduced. Reworking some abilities. A lot of these don't. I really don't give a care. due to the fact that it's like, whatever. Oh, cool, the Unholy Lodestone. Hey, guys, we reduced the healing by 0.05, but we gave them more leadership. Yeah, the undead needs more leadership, totally. Oh, and also that only affects vampire counts, who are the ones who have the biggest problem with fucking being overpowered. With not dying. Imbue with magical attacks and get healing. What the frick? That is so strong. And guess who gets that? Fucking vampire counts only. What about the freaking Pirate Coast and freaking Toon Kings? Do they get that stuff? No. No, they've so far I've seen is that they pretty much just did fixes on stuff. Nothing really is a change. These are whatever. Like, most of this is just whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is important. Fix a number of Beastman technologies, not applying the state effects to the given state units. Cool. Awesome. You guys have even now, over a year, they have technologies not working. How the frick do you not know this? Bertonia, still probably fucked because they have now just gotten penalties against Marienburg, and that's it. Cool. So they're like 2. All the changes are to their cavalry and knights, not to their anything else. These don't matter because the knights were already strong. It's their beginning game. It's their defense game that's weak. Sorry, I'm just, it's like upsetting. A lot of this doesn't matter. I really don't. There's multiplayer cost changes. Like, a lot of these changes, if you would actually take a look at them, don't really matter. And I don't know why. Like, a lot of these, I've looking at them and reading, a lot of these don't matter. So, the rice terraces on the turtle field will now deal less fall damage to chariots. Just chariots? Not infantry? Because it will kill infantry. And also, that was a fun thing. Also, I like to point out, Grand Cafe does not have chariots. This does not affect them. Why is it underneath Grand Cafe? That does not affect Grand Cafe. They do not have chariots. Now, okay. They don't have chariots. But technically the Woozing War Compass and maybe what is it? The Fire Rain Rocket Battery or the Canyon is counted as a chariot. But the thing is, it's like, I'm pretty sure your Astromancer is not going at Mach 5 speed like the Slaneshi chariots. So it's not going to be yeeting itself. And also, that's a very particular spot to do that, and speed you need to be flying to deal damage to yourself. Literally, they did not fix Cafe's biggest problem now, which is, while having to deal with your yin yang, you also have basically every single caravan in your life going to be blown up. And at some point in the game, you might as well not have or send out caravans, because caravans are so weak for Cathay that have to go across the world, where the AI will throw a 20 stack of fucking top tier units at your freaking caravan for no reason. Well, they will be at war with you, but they'll throw a 20 stack at it of like top tier units and kill it. And you're like, cool. Now I have to build up another guy to get replenishment. Like, give us replenishment for caravans for free. They don't do that. They won't do that for some reason. This doesn't, the Wulong Company's game more entity mass does not matter. Most of this does not matter because it's mostly multiplayer cost. Oh gosh, Fire Ring Rocket Battery in Grand Canyon got more HP by 100. Oh boy! Like, a lot of these are just bad. I guess Jade Warriors with Halberds gain increased melee attack and melee defense could help. But not by much. Actually, no, they lowered the melee attack. Awesome. And the melee defense on Jade Warriors. Awesome. Wait, how are Jade Warrior Halberds stronger in melee defense than freaking Jade Warriors? These guys have shields. Oh, whatever. The blue line... This is the part where they could have fixed it. But no, it's blue line skill on convoy masters that increased sale value of cargo will now function as intended. You mean it wasn't before? That is something you should have realized very easily. And greenskins, apparently Grimgor is no longer a big boy. Big green boy. I don't know what that means, but that sounds stupid. Stupid as in where they took away a fun thing. Don't know why. A lot of these are just cool, don't care. You looks like, I don't know. Don't care. Elves are still strong. They've changed some heroes to increase their mass and all that. Which, good, but at the same time, I don't... Whatever. It's... A lot of these changes in the units don't matter too much. Because, like for Khorne, don't care. Care about Bloodletters. Oh, look, Bloodletters got increased armor and leadership. Well, that's just a buff to freaking Khorne, because you can just take Bloodletters Khorne and just go ham. You don't need any of these units. Bloodletters of Khorne by themselves will destroy half the units in the game. Because just as how Khorne is. So, Exalted Bloodletters Khorne gain more leadership. Okay, whatever. I'll just still go with the cheaper versions that are just as good. Like, most of this is not worth. A lot of stuff is... Kislev, reduce the number of factions at war with and holding diplomatic negatives towards Koslan. So Koslan has negative diplomatic relations to itself. And don't forget, Boris also has that too, I guess. Oh wait, you mean to say, oh wait, no, it's Katarine who only has that. They didn't say that. Katarine apparently lost magical attacks and frostbite contact effects when on her warbear mount. Come on, guys! That should have been obvious. That's like the most obvious one to be like, oh wait, that's not intended, guys. We're sorry. Apparently they changed Boris's starting position if you're playing multiplayer when you have Astaroth and Boris both being played. Because apparently the person who plays Boris probably went and killed Astaroth, or Astaroth goes and kills Boris, and then game done. Good job, everyone. GG. Like, again, someone has to correct passive now. Like, a lot of these are bug fixes. They're not... This is a 3.0 patch. You want to know what we got for a 3.0 patch? Absolutely nothing outside of a DLC and a free survival mode that no one asked for. When they could have fixed a lot more stuff. And you want to know what? They did fix something. A lot of these don't... Nothing's changed. It's just fixes and then stat adjustments. Number changes. It doesn't matter because a lot of these don't... I'm not seeing change to actual recruitment cost. Chosen Nurgle got cheaper. Oh, cool. The freaking crazy strong ones, if you're playing Warriors Chaos, ogres just got better. Like, they got increased damage for crushers. These Iron Blasters got increased mass. Look at this. This is 2,000 mass. These Iron Blasters are 2,000 massed. If we go back to the elves, to their chariots... Actually, hold up. Plague Toads are 1,500. Put that in perspective. Plague Toads will hit Iron Blasters and stop. Iron Blasters can push through the Toads. Just as a point of conception. That's fucked up. Like, this Iron Blaster is as thick as a Noblar scrap launcher. Now, I'm probably thinking of the wrong thing. The Iron Blaster is probably that vehicle cannon. But still. It can push through the Toads. So can the scrap launcher. I don't like it. Skaven stuff. Shit. Slanesh. Whatever. Devoted Marauder Slanesh gets their bonus to infantry to 0. But getting their upkeep increased and their recruitment costs increased. But they get physical... No, they lose physical resistance and they gain 0.2 run speed. Are you kidding me? That is not worth... I'm sorry. This is so stupid. Empire. Empire, Empire, Empire. So... Empire is still fucked because they're highly dependent on minor faction. On the minor faction succeeding. So they're screwed still. Tzeentch really don't give a care. Yeah, Doom Knights of Tzeentch are 1,000 now. In unit mass. Burning Chariot of Tzeentch is 1,800. If I remember correctly, a human soldier, like the basic soldier's unit mass, is like 120. Vampire Coasts don't seem like they got shit. Wait, why doesn't that the Mongrel Hunter have Hide and Force and Strider? I'm pretty sure they had those. Or it was probably a mod that added them. I don't remember. Finally, they had that, I guess. So, vampire coats don't get any change, really. Vampire counts. Oh! Thank you for finally removing from Graveguard the magical attack. That was kind of bullshit. The Graveguard got that. But still not enough. Warriors Chaos. All these unit changes are for Dragon Ogres and Chaos Knights, basically. So really nothing's changed. I mean, they added make the Dragon Ogre seem a little bit better. But the problem is they're not really. When you could just do a freaking when you need to do almost like an event to get Dragon Ogre Shagas. Basic Dragon Ogres are not worth it. Wood Elves. They get some changes. I don't know. I at this point I really didn't care. Campaign. They really didn't change much except for that missions. I don't know. The gold is... It was weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, it was apparently going to the AI rather than the player if you destroy the settlements, but whatever. Some Realm of Chaos and Prologue. No one gives a shit. Diplomacy. Faction had a mission-driven confederation, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really matter. Battles, new endless survival. No one gives a care. There's some fixes on stuff where they're minor fixes, because fix the issue with floating cliff assets. Why are they still in? And then there's pathfinding for a bunch of stuff. Like, this should have been fixed long ago. Like, I can tell you there's a map that's a settlement map, minor settlement map. That I know it's in Dark Lands a lot, where sight lines are fucking bork, and it just shows off like how bad the game is, like with range units, which is why melees are king. Settlement battles, looking at most of this, mostly decals, and it's cosmetics. Most of these are cosmetics. Multiplayer no one gives a care about. So here's the one thing that took time and effort to do. And that is the articulate vehicle collision overhaul. So instead of it looking like this, and so if somebody attacked right here, or if there was a horse right here, it would stop them from moving due to how collision is. It's now like this, where there's mounts, articulate entity, engine, blah, blah, blah. So they divided it up a little bit better. So that took time and effort. I will give them that. That took that time and effort. This is the one thing in 3.0 that makes sense. That, like, okay, this feels like a patch. This makes it feel like a patch. Like a major patch, which is what 3.0 was supposed to be. And they changed how fire looks. Don't give a care. A bunch of stuff. Oh, something I forgot about Empire. Right wizards now have fire attack. Where is it? It's bright wizards. Bright wizards now have flaming attacks to match their swords' visuals. So glad you guys finally did that. So glad. So yeah, that's just how it is. I'm literally probably gonna not be doing YouTube much more. I I'm probably gonna play games. If a game comes out and I'm like, "Ooh, this looks fun," and I want to play it and show it off, I'm probably gonna stream it. But otherwise, no. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Wait, what the frick? They removed bronze, silver, and gold shields will be displayed separately, and now it's just an icon. Frick you, CA. I wanted a quick glance to understand how much damage reduction they're getting. And you remove it? What the frick? That's a bad thing. But anyways, like I said my piece, I knew I wasn't gonna be happy with this. I tried so fucking hard to go into this and be like, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good, don't worry, it's gonna be good, they're gonna do things. No, they didn't. They didn't change anything. Most of these changes are bug fixes. Hey guys, get ready for the next patch. It's gonna be big. And there's gonna be lots of changes. There's zero changes. You fix problems that shouldn't even be there. If you just took two and imported and added new stuff to it. But then again, we all know CA's code is spaghetti and terrible and just horrible. I do not know who's over there conducting and keeping track of their code, but like, it shouldn't be this bad. It should not. Where they have to constantly fix things that just break because they had something. It's not worth. Leadership is still broken in my opinion because I have not seen a change for leadership where single entities, if they're next to each other, do not get attack in size and in flanks unguarded penalty for leadership because that literally kills a lot of single entities. And if it's leadership as intended, no, I do not agree. I do not agree one bit. That is completely not fun. And the reason why I do not agree with it because the AI doesn't give a shit about it anyways. Again, I will beseech you to go. I need to find it. There is of me playing Festus, and I had two armies fighting a single Varg wolf, and that Varg wolf was not crumbling, was healing, and was saying like, "Screw you, I'm gonna stay around" until he was at 1 HP, and then he instant died because he crumbled to death. He actually went to the full crumbling where it will outpace the regeneration. So leadership is a problem for a lot of people. Like, leadership does not work properly. Sightlines are still bad. You only fix part of the problem. And if you're going to say, if anyone's going to say like, well, they at least they're fixing it, they're doing changes. It's been a fucking year, more than a year, and this is the second patch they've done something with sightlines. And you want to know a game that doesn't have these problems? Warhammer 2. So my question is why is it freaking borked in this one? Honestly, I am getting mad by going over this a little bit. The thing is like, this is nothing. I have no inkling to go play the game. This patch does not make me want to play the game. Chaos Dwarf Spearers doesn't make me want to play the game because they just took everything from, like, the best things from everyone and put them together to make the new top tier race. Because if you did not believe me after the release of Warriors of Chaos, that Warriors of Chaos did not become like one of the best races in the game, hands down, I do not know what you're smoking. Because you could easily just go melee ball, go. Most factions now are melee ball, go. They're not fun. They're not interesting. You think that it would have been better because they like made it so that melee can compete now in the game. No, I don't know what they did. They made it worse. They made melee so good that it's the only option. And if you're doing two melee balls going up against each other, whichever one has more damaging abilities or magic wins. Due to the fact that, hey, I can now outpace your melee ball by doing magic. And speed it up. It's like, if you watch my Festus campaign, I just sat there and just did ×3 speed and then popped abilities while sitting there waiting. Because it was that boring. And the only time I kept it on single speed, on one-time speed, was to get into the melee, to get into melee. Wow, I just read that. Expect more fixed-based wholesomeness when 3.1 arrives in a few weeks. You mean you have fixes that you're like, we can't place them in yet. We still need to test them. Yet you have so much here that is just blah. So yeah, I'm done. I'm done with Total Warhammer 3. I can't sit here and be like, I enjoy the game, because I'm not going to enjoy the game. Do I want to play Chaos Dwarfs? Yeah, I want to play Chaos Dwarfs. I want to see how they are. I want to see how they feel. I want to play them. But I'm not willing to give $25 to CA. Chaos Dwarfs right now, for my price statement, I would say it's $5 to $10. At most. Chaos Dwarves, $5 to $10. These guys, not worth. It's also not 26 new units. It's literally a bunch of the same units as half the units are dwarves, half the units are like savage orcs, are savage orc units and gobos. Um, their vehicles are probably the only new ones. This guy is probably a little bit new, but like honestly, no, it's not 26 units. Chaos dwarves, half their stuff is not you. Slave mechanic. Uh, this one's a little bit newish, but it's pretty much officer slash other things. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is very simple. That's just a Manticore. An upgraded Manticore that probably would be better. These are just Centaurs. But, you know, Chaos Dwarves get a Centaur Lord, but, you know, Beastmen don't. Like, those are just Dwarf Warriors. Their design is new. Like, this feels like someone's added Chaos Dwarves by a mod. But for $25, no, this isn't worth. Maybe 15. But considering you get only 3 lords and this faction, nah, not worth. I think Tomb Kings were $15 when it came out. So yeah, this is overpriced. They're trying to make money. CA's just trying to make money, and this is the way they do it because they're hemorrhaging money right now. Total Warhammer 3 is not doing so well. Well, it's probably doing better because people have been going to it, but it's like, no. I'm just going to quick look at Steam. So, I don't know why it's 0 right now. There's people obviously playing it. Okay, Total Warhammer 3 has been steadily kind of going up, but only a little bit. And of course it peaked today with about 49,000 people on Steam alone. Their highest within the past month-ish or so has been 45,000. But the thing is that Total Warhammer 3 is getting better, but not by much, in my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, but I don't know. I just... Okay, so the average players has been 26,000. That's not doing so hot, in my opinion. Should be a lot higher. Like, it should be closer to 80,000. If you want me to be honest. Or at least like 70,000. The fact that it's not doesn't bode well. I don't know. It's doing good. But I don't feel like this is a game I'm caring for anymore because it's not interesting. It's not interesting to play. I would rather go back to 2 and play that. The reason why I'm upset, the reason why I'm angry is because I really like this series. I really enjoyed it. But it's just not there anymore. It's not fun anymore. Yeah, that's me. I'm done. Whenever a game comes out, probably Remnant 2. I'm gonna stream that probably. Love freaking Remnant. We'll come back with that, maybe stream that for a little bit, or another game I find interesting to stream. I'll stream that, but Total Warhammer 3? Nah, we're done. Sad to say, but we're done. I'm having more fun and enjoying myself more by playing other things. So yeah. You guys all take care, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.